Madam Deputy Speaker, my contribution today is neither light-hearted or a happy one. The news that Grangemouth will stop refining oil in Q2 2025 is devastating. It's accurate to say that the mood music from the refinery owners has been pessimistic for quite some time now. Even with the threat of closure that's been hanging over the refinery, today's news is shocking. What is happening will be felt far beyond Grangemouth. It will reverberate around Scotland, Northern Ireland and the north of England, the areas of the UK that Grangemouth primarily services. Closure will impact all of the constituencies there. And Madam Deputy Speaker, please permit me to give a very brief history. 100 years ago, Grangemouth was the perfect location for a refinery. There was an abundance of flat land, a bustling harbour and, crucially, an already skilled workforce was there, one that was experienced in shale refining. It was one of the first crude oil refineries in the UK, and it is currently the primary supplier of aviation fuel for Scotland's main airports and a major supplier of petrol and diesel ground fuels across the central belt of Scotland. It also provides power to the Forties oil pipeline, bringing oil and gas ashore from the North Sea. While operations and procedures have changed over a century, a highly skilled local workforce remains a constant. Now, I could detail the statistics about the Grangemouth site and how it contributes 4% of Scotland's GDP, how it is a key piece of Scottish infrastructure, and while that is both accurate and of course pertinent while talking about the refinery, I want to talk about the human side of this issue. When the refinery was known locally as the BP, there were social clubs, gala events for families, and Grangemouth was known as Scotland's boomtown. The refinery, and specifically the workers, created a community, an industrious, working-class community where the jobs were dangerous, skilled and highly valued. The Grangemouth Refinery has provided apprenticeships to local people, the possibility to gain experience and world-class qualifications that provide the opportunity of forging a career, a platform for self-improvement and social mobility. And for those of us that represent constituencies with social issues, often born out of industry leaving those communities, social mobility has become a negative journey, not a positive one. Madam Deputy Speaker, the comparisons with the miners of 4 decades ago is a clear one. And like the miners of the 1980s who kept Britain warm, the refinery workers of Grangemouth, they keep Britain moving. What happened to the miners cannot be the fate of Grangemouth refinery workers. Over the last few months, the campaign to keep Grangemouth working has spread the message of extending the life of the refinery, of investing in the workforce, and making sure that there is no gap that would see workers lose their jobs. I have stood in solidarity with the refinery workers, and I will continue to do so. Unite the Union have said that it does not accept that the future of the refinery should have been left to the whims and avarice of shareholders. And I completely agree. Energy security is intrinsically linked to national security, and for both to be in the hands of a foreign government and private capital is inherently wrong, not to mention utterly reckless. The primary ideal of the Keep Grangemouth Working campaign was to extend the life of the refinery so that a truly just transition could be achieved. That is what should happen, and there is nothing that will convince me otherwise. Oil will still be part of the energy mix for a while yet. The refinery workers know that. They also know that oil won't last forever. They know that cleaner industries must come. And when I listen to them, they tell me they want to be part of a new green industrial revolution. There are so many of the skills that will be required for us to achieve net zero and make Britain a clean energy superpower. And Madam Deputy Speaker, if there is a gap between stopping refining next year and these new industries being ready, then the truth is the workforce will be gone. Workers cannot hang around and wait. Mortgages need to be paid. Families need to be fed. Jobs must be found, or talent leaves. The impact of that on the local community and the local economy, it would be enormous. The shops, the pubs, the restaurants, the hotels, the cafes, the B&Bs, the snack vans, they will all suffer if the refinery were to close. And as a government, we must do everything we can, and I welcome the steps that the Secretary of State and his team have taken with the announcement of £20 million in the form of funding to support the community and its workers, investing in local energy projects to create new growth for Grangemouth. And previously I have spoken positively about Project Willow and the importance of it being a joint commitment between both governments to determine what the industrial future of Grangemouth will be, because both the UK and Scottish governments will need to work together. The new working relationship this Labour government has with the Scottish Government has already shown its worth. I know how hard the Secretary of State has worked during intensive discussions with the refinery owners to secure tailored support for the workers impacted, and along with his counterpart in the Scottish Government in devising a plan that will help secure Grangemouth's industrial future and protect the workforce. And I thank them both for that. It shows what can be achieved when both governments work together. But it is just a start. This Labour government has done more in 8 weeks on this issue than the Conservative government did in 14 years. Because today's news, although shocking, it has been coming. Because truthfully, Project Willow or the like should have been done and delivered years ago. And Madam Deputy Speaker, the workers in Grangemouth community, they need action. Action that leads to us creating something truly transformative and world-leading at Grangemouth. Sustainable aviation fuel, low-carbon hydrogen, clean e-fuels. Let's not rule anything out of the equation for the Grangemouth site. But we must act quickly, because time is of the essence. If we're to have a true, just transition, one that looks after workers and their communities, then we must move with purpose and speed on determining the industrial future of the Grangemouth site. And that has to be done while Grangemouth keeps refining until these new energies are ready. The environmental need for a green industrial revolution has been there for a long time and discussed for ages. But now we see the social need for the transition to clean energy. And the need for that has been incredibly accelerated today.